Your stuff away for free? We'll find out on today's episode of Money Mouth Marketing Mastery. Hi everyone, it's Antonio Thornton, the Profit Engineer, here with another episode of Money Mouth Marketing Mastery. And I want to warn you up front, today's episode is a little bit more esoteric, but still very practical in its application. Now, I will say, as with most of these episodes, our intro or headline for all of you guys who are studying copywriting, but our intro for this particular video is not really misleading, but it definitely kind of creates the curiosity that we always talk about. So, first of all, I want to say, no, I don't recommend you going around giving away your stuff. However, I will say this: give away value as much as you possibly can. As much as you possibly can. And here's where I get into a little the esoteric side of things. I don't want to impose my beliefs on you guys, but here's what I believe. What I believe is that when I give value out into the universe, that value comes back to me, typically multiplied, but that value comes back to me. Now, there's one caveat I might add to that. That value may not come back from the same place in which I placed the value, but I do know that value will come back to me. Here's an example of what I mean by that. As you guys know, I run a marketing consultancy, and I speak to, on average, between 3 and 5 business owners every single day. And they're kind of mini strategy sessions where I spend about 30 minutes on the phone, 30 to maybe sometimes an hour, depending on what's going on. But I'll spend a little time on the phone with the business owners, really identifying what's going on with them, really identifying what their goals and objectives are, where they might be stuck, and where and identify where we may be able to help them. We've never had a scenario in the couple of decades that we've been in business. We've never had a scenario where someone called us on the phone and said, "Hey, here's $10,000. Go do magic." We literally vet every single client we speak with, or every single client we bring on. We speak with them up front because we want to make sure we can actually provide value. We don't have any cookie cutter services where someone can just call and order up. Now, we do have programs that people can purchase to go use on their own, but our consulting services are customized and unique for every client that we work with. So we have to have a conversation up front. Now, here's the point that I'm making. In that conversation, it's a real strategy session that we're doing with clients. We're actually providing real value in that session. We're actively listening and actively coming up with ideas to help clients in that moment. Now, some people say, man, how do you guys afford to give away this value? Well, there's a couple of things. One is that personally, I am absolutely positively in love with marketing. I love it, love it, love it. I could do this all day, every day. And I'm so fortunate, so blessed to be in a business that I'm absolutely in love with. I don't do it because I have to do it. I don't do it just because I'm good at it. I don't do it just to pay bills. I do it because I absolutely love doing this. I absolutely love it. So for me, this is almost like getting paid to play video games or getting paid to binge watch your favorite Netflix show. So I'm getting paid to do something that is tremendously exciting and just fun for me to do anyway. So I enjoy it. But then going back to the point that I made, I'm putting value into someone else's business. I'm putting value into someone else's life by giving them real consulting. We don't hold back. We don't tell people, well, I've got some ideas, but I'm not going to tell you until you hire us. We don't do that. We don't do that. Now, what I will say is this, and I want to be very clear about this, and this is where I go back to making sure that you understand the title. What might have been a broad stroke, if you want to call it, but we don't go into the same depth of strategy that we would with a paid client because we can't. It's only a 30-minute phone call. I give as much value as I can in the 30 minutes, but we don't hold back. But of course, no, we don't. I'm not going to spend the same amount of time that I would with the paid client because that's unfair to the paid client. But again, I go back to saying I do give 100% in that session so that people get real value from it. And here's where the pragmatic side of this comes in for you. So beyond the giving value into the world and allowing that value to come back to you from wherever that value may come from, the other aspect of it is that you are now building into what we call the law of reciprocity. When you pour into someone like that, they almost feel like they want to pour back into you in some form or fashion. Now, that can come in the form of them hiring you. Even if they don't hire you on the spot, they come back and say, you know what, this guy gave me real value. When I am ready to start working with someone, this is who I will come to. That's one thing. Secondly, they can say, well, this may not have been a good fit for us to work together, but he might be a good company to work with for Bob or Jane or Mary. And they then give you a referral. And that's happened with us on many occasions where we've done a session with a potential client who didn't become a client, but actually referred a business associate to us. How powerful is that? How powerful is that? That someone felt your value enough that they may not have been in the position to hire you, but they sent someone else your way. They sent someone else your way. Matter of fact, we just finished with a client specifically in that scenario. One lady, we spoke with one lady. She wanted to hire us, but she had a substantial health issue, so she could not hire. So she had to kind of put her project on hold. But she recommended her business associate, and lady hired us almost on the spot. So again, wonderful scenario. So again, another practical way that value can come back to you. But the other thing is this, and this is what you may not be thinking about. Doing that session gives you yet another opportunity, yet more more chance or time rather for practicing your craft. It gives you even more deeper understanding because this is a different person. Even if you've spoken to hundreds of people, this is still a different person. They have a different perspective. They have a different outlook. They have different issues, different challenges. And it gives you more of your own internal training and just reiterating your own knowledge within yourself. So, because sometimes when I get out of the phone, I feel really good. I say, man, I really helped that person out, and that lets me know, hey, man, you're great at what you do. So it reinforces a deeper knowledge and understanding about your business in and of itself. And here's the cool thing: with that person's permission, a lot of times I will take those initial strategy session calls and use those calls as content. Use those calls as training, not just internal training, but also external training. Again, with that person's permission, we'll take that call and pull excerpts out of it for training. That's beautiful, perfect content. I mean, you can't ask for better content than an actual live training session. Really, think about that, okay? And then here's another thing that you may or may not have considered. You do that session with someone, you provide them real value. Even if that person doesn't do business with you, ask them for a testimonial. Hey, did you get value from this call? Yeah, I got tremendous value from this call. Tell me what value you got from this call. Well, this and that and that and this and that and the other. Would you mind if I use that as a testimonial? No, by all means, go ahead and use that as a testimonial. I have a few testimonials where people have said these words: Antonio provided me more value in a free 30-minute call than I have from working with this other person for 6 months. I actually have a testimonial that says that. And there's two that are very similar to that, but it's not not the exact same thing, but there's another testimony that's very similar to that. I got more value from this free session than I did with this paid consultant. I got more value in this 30 minutes than I did in 6 months. You realize how powerful that is? Even though the person didn't pay me any money, that testimonial is just as, if not more powerful than money. It can be. It can be when used properly, of course. You can't take testimonials to the bank, right? You can't pay your bills with testimonials. But the reality of it is that testimonials build credibility around you to get you more customers. So there you have it, guys. Providing value. And that value can come in a whole plethora of ways, a whole multitude of ways. It can be through initial strategy sessions. It can be through white papers or free reports that you offer. It could be through a video training series that you give away for free. It could be doing live events from time to time. And I don't recommend doing that a whole lot, but that's on a whole nother topic. But you could do live events. You can do work for volunteers or whatever, or for nonprofits rather. Volunteer for nonprofits and give your value to their audience in that way. So there's a whole multitude of ways that you can provide value to the marketplace and to the universe, with the understanding and knowing that that value will come back to you. Some people say, oh, well, just give value out and it'll show. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe that by any means. You know, you shouldn't expect anything to come back to you. No, you should. Okay. You absolutely positively should. Now, not necessarily from the place from where you put the value. Okay. That is, kind of self-serving, where you give value to this person. You're expecting value to get from them. It's not from the individual. It's more from a universal and global perspective. You're giving value out into the world, and then that value will come back to you in many different ways. So if you're looking for a breakthrough in your business, we're more than happy to set up a 30-minute strategy session with you at no charge, and we'll give 100% with the understanding that that value will come back to us in some way, shape, or form. All right, guys, that's it for today's Money Mouth Marketing Mastery episode. We look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care.